Hi everyone. This is very basic compared to some of the things we've already seen, which are obviously very good. It was born out of a need to get out in the field using an iPad that hasn't got any geo-referencing capabilities other than the pictures, obviously, in terms of mobile data. So it's very simple, and it was knocked up in an afternoon just using apps that are already out there. So it isn't an app as such, it is just making use of already available things that are free and easy to use. So the first thing it relies upon is access to ArcMap or a similar system. So you can create a map for your volunteer or for yourself or for anybody for that matter. So simply export the data in a PDF using the existing interface when it decides it's going to hurry up. Just bear with me a second. So there we go. Call it whatever. So this is over Wyre, which is near Blackpool, for those of you that don't know. You can set it at any resolution. The lower is the quickest, but high resolution is particularly useful if your map is of a higher scale. So just save that, and it'll do as it wishes. So there you go. This can then be sent on to your volunteer, who has access to Adobe Reader on their device, who can then open it in an email and open it in Adobe Reader on their device. You'll have to forgive me, this has gone to another scale, as it's one that I did earlier, but this is one that's actually been done on the ground, so it's a bit more reflection of how it actually works. So you can see this was done on the 8th of January, and it was created on an iPad. So essentially, the red lines on the map are where the user has walked around. They're just drawn on using the tools that are available. I'll just show you the pictures of the interface on the iPad. So there you can see, if you watch my mouse pointer, various tools, call-outs, pens, pencils, text, etc., lines. So the user would draw the line on where they've been, as I said, very simple, and then where they find an issue, they will put a call out on, and there you go, see that call out which says ducks. It was a large pen of ducks, which was contributing a great deal of slurry to a local watercourse. Then the users continue to wander around the area, the watercourse that's been selected, unfenced ditch, broken fence, etc. So when that's complete, you can simply save it on your iPad or your iPhone and forward it back to the end user, which is me in this case, or whoever it might be, and this then allows them to input the data wherever they wish. Unfortunately, the input of data is a bit more heavy than some of the previous apps because it is manual. But given that most computer users have access to Excel or a similar app or piece of software, it can simply be sent in an Excel spreadsheet. So object ID, number 4 for instance, ducks, and then description, large duck pen, cause of above issue, which was a slurry in the ditch. This can then be transformed into an ARC attribute table, and when combined with a GPS unit, if you've got access to them, or even a phone with cellular data, you can follow the user's track around the area, and then obviously geo-reference back to where the issues were found. So as you can see here, it should, if I can zoom down, there you go, you can see highlight of the selected data there. When I can get out of this. The other useful piece of kit on the Adobe Reader software is that the tools that are available on a computer interface, which could be used when you've returned from the field, you can then annotate at a greater level, so using various tools. And here, there's quite a bit of detail taken off the map, but that's because I don't want to give away where the problems are. It won't be too fair on the farmer. So here I've attached an image that was captured on the iPad. I hope that this will come up, and it does. So there we go, issues, erosion poaching sea image, and there you go. Particularly bad example. It looks more like a beach than a river, but there you go. And then we can just get rid of that. And if I save that and send it on, it will send all the data that's attached to the PDF, and the end user, me, can then use it to put it into ArcMap and do something about it with a bit of luck. I mean, it is very simple, as I've said, and it is end user heavy, but it's very accessible. Adobe Reader or similar is available on 99% of devices, I would guess, probably 100. It's so simple, such a simple interface on the iPad or the iPhone or the Android phone. It's simply, you would touch whatever and off you go and write, make your comments, very simple comments or however detailed you wish, and then you have your map there in front of you for somebody to use. I think other than that, I mean, the drawbacks, the accuracy can be limited if the end user is not wholly au fait with the area that they're in, but given that the volunteers that usually work for Rivers Trusts are quite good with environmental things, they should be able to read a map at the very least. But like I said, it can be combined with a GPS pictures, which and where the issue is on the ground. I think it's good for small trusts or catchment partnerships that are limited in their ability to use the bigger apps, and it allows access for the volunteers to very, very detailed maps. If you use it with a Surface or something like that, then you should be able to employ the layers tool in Adobe. I don't know if this has any on, but yeah, so you can see there are layers there. You should be able to remove and add layers as you wish, which gives, again, further capability. And that's about it, really. It's, yeah, like I say, very basic, but quite easy to use. So I don't know whether there are any questions or anything.
Thanks very much, Tom. I think that's useful to have a sort of range of approaches, really, and I think a lot of groups are still sort of out using pen and paper, so I don't think it's the most basic field recording tool at all. So I just had one sort of comment just around the GPS. Do you ever use the sort of geotagging facility in photos? Because if you enable location on your iPad or iPhone, you should be able to get the location from that without having to take a separate GPS unit out with you. Yeah, that's exactly what I discovered when I went out there after the first time I'd used it. Yeah. I discovered it wasn't turned on, but after I've turned on, it's a very, very useful bit of kit, and obviously you can go straight into Google Maps, or is it Apple Maps as it is now, and it'll show you exactly where the pictures were taken, which is very, very useful. Yeah.